Hello, welcome to Threading with Heart. In this week's video, I'm going to show y'all how to crochet for beginners. Hope you enjoy. To start out with, you're going to want like a acrylic yarn or cotton yarn that is a medium weight for yarn. And on the label, it will tell you that it's a 4 weight yarn. Like on this label here, it says it's a 3, so you want one that says 4 on your yarn. And then a light color yarn like this would probably be the best to start with, so you can see your stitches. And a larger crochet hook, usually on your yarn here on the label. When you read it, it tells you what size hook to use for what type of yarn you have. So on this one, I got it upside down, it is a 4mm crochet hook that they recommend. But as a beginner, it's kind of hard to see when you use smaller hooks. So it's recommended to start out with a 5mm crochet hook all the way up to an 8mm crochet hook. So you can see the little hooks, the difference, where you can see your stitches better. So that way you can see what's going on when you're stitching. But here's like a comparison. This is a 10 and this is a 5. Some of the first projects that you can do with like crocheting for beginners is you can do like a dishcloth or a washcloth, because all that is single crochet in rows, and you can do however many rows to make it how long or how big you want. So that's a good project. It's just a flat piece that goes one row to the next. And then a bookmark is a little bit smaller, but you're just crocheting up to make a bookmark that is about that big long. And granny squares, but you have to learn how to make a granny square before you can do that, but that's a good beginner project. Or like cozies for your mugs, so that would be like a cute little project to do for that. So I'm going to start showing y'all how to do like the stitches and stuff. Like a slip knot, you're going to have your tail end here, and then this is your working yarn that's connected to the yarn ball. Then you're going to take your hook. I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. So the end part, you're going to stick between your small finger here, like that, and then in between your pointer finger, so in between these two fingers here. So your pinky's kind of holding this piece right here. So you want to move it up a little bit and then kind of tighten it with this part, and then bring this yarn around to where your pinky is and make an X, and then put it underneath that finger there, so that way you have an X on your finger. And you're going to take your hook, insert it through the first one, and then turn it grab the second one to go underneath, and that forms a little loop there. So you're going to take these two fingers right here and grab this middle piece right here, and then move your fingers out. And then this working yarn that's connected to the yarn ball, you're going to yarn over, and then take these two fingers right here to grab here in the middle, and then you're going to yarn over. So when you're working in the magic loop here, magic ring, you're going to yarn over and then start crocheting in it. That's a double crochet. A single crochet is just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. So this is called a magic ring, and then you just pull that to tie it. To start crocheting, you have to do a slip knot. So you're basically just going to wrap this around your fingers, and then this is the end part of your yarn. You're going to go through it, the two of your fingers here, to make a little, kind of like a pretzel. And then I take my hook like this and tie it on there. You kind of want it to be loose, so when you start crocheting, it's not like tight or anything. Okay, so now you got your slip knot on your hook. So you're gonna, this is your end piece, so you're not gonna use that. And this is your working yarn that's connected to your yarn ball. So you have to like figure out what, how to hold this, what's best for you. But the way that I hold it is I just use my left hand or my right hand on my hook, and my left hand is kind of like working my yarn here. And then I take, just for tension purposes, I usually just kind of like hold this end piece here, other side, between these fingers here, to kind of like hold it kind of out of the way with my right hand. So to chain, you're just basically going to yarn over and then pull that through your loop there. That's one chain. And then take this yarn over, and then you kind of want to turn your hook towards you so that you can grab this yarn into that loop there. So you're going to take this other hand, yarn over, and then turn your hook this way. I let go of this piece because now my chain's getting longer, so I don't really need to keep that out of the way, so I just let go of it. So you just yarn over and you pull through that. So you're forming like a chain. And this can be the foundation. This is going to be your foundation chain to any project that you're going to do, like either a dishcloth, a bookmark, mug cozy, a blanket for my first project. I just chained a whole bunch of chains and I made a necklace out of it. That was my first crochet project. When I first learned how to chain, I would just make like little necklaces and stuff for myself until I learned how to do the rows. So you just keep yarning over and going through that hoop there. And that's what a chain looks like. Some people hold their crochet hook like a knife, like you're gonna like cut something, or like you're cutting tomatoes or something like that. Or some people hold it like a pencil, like this, and they crochet like that, like a pencil. But I always hold mine like, I guess, like a knife. So it's whatever's comfortable for you, how you want to hold your hook. So to single crochet, usually you want to count your little stitches, these little bumps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So sometimes your pattern tells you need so many of these stitches, these little chains, to start your project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bumps. So I usually, when I'm getting ready to start a new row, go ahead and chain another one, chain 1, so that it'll be even. So like if you want it 10, you do 11, so that you will come out with 10 for your next row. So to single crochet, you basically just go into this loop here in between. So you have 2 on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through that. So now you have 2 on your hook again. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through both of those. So then you're going to look for your next bump here with a little hole. So you're going to put your needle or crochet hook inside that hole. Then you're going to take your yarn and go over the hook like that. And then you're going to pull through, yarn over, and pull through both of those. So now we're getting like a chain, like a row of single crochets. So this is what can build your washcloth up to do it in rows to make it bigger. So we're gonna do another one into that loop. Then you're gonna yarn over, pull all this through that loop there that you just went through, and then yarn over, pull through. So I'm going to finish this row and then I'll show you how to go to the next row. Okay, so I just single crocheted all the way down, and this is what it should be looking like. So down here you have 2 stitches left. So I'm going to go ahead and put my hook through there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then in this last bump here, you're going to put your hook through, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over again and pull through. So when you start your next row of single crochets, you're going to go ahead and chain 1. This is what I was talking about earlier, to build your rows so that you will have an even number of stitches. Like if you started out with 10 and you did 11, that way when you do your next row it'll still be 10. So you then, once you do that, you're going to turn this around this way, and then you're going to see these little open areas here where I'm sticking my finger through underneath these V's. See, it looks like a V. So you're going to start single crocheting underneath that. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our hook through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over. So now you see that we're building it up to make our little washcloth. So you're going to continue doing that all the way down, and then when you get to the end here, you're going to chain 1, turn, and then keep doing it all the way up to however long you want it to be. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something from this video. I went over how to do a slip knot, how to do a magic circle, a chain stitch, a single crochet, and how to do your next rows, attention, how to hold your crochet hook, and some projects for beginners, and the best type of yarn to use, and what size crochet hooks are good for beginners. So I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you learned something. If so, I hope you would like and subscribe and all the things if you would like to see more from me. Hope y'all have a good day.